Uh-oh, another dirty dim, y'all. I think we might have caught another one. This was big. This was a big fat Godzilla foot having scales on her knock knees, Kanko, Queen Laquifa. This is an evil woman. Evil woman. But look, I'm telling you. Little karma's coming back on everybody.
To make sure that the judgment is paid to New Yorkers. And yes, I look at 40 Wall Street each and every day. If he does not have funds to pay off the...
Now you hear that evilness? And yes, I look at 40 every day. Every day. That means she wants evil upon Donald Trump. She is thirsty. She was the whole time like, ooh, I want to bring him down so bad. We all saw her campaigning. We all saw her out there. Yes, if you elect me, I'm going to be a pain in Donald Trump's butt. I'm going to sue him. I'm going to look into his businesses. We all saw that. And I'm sitting here watching this before they stuck her butt in there. And I'm going, is that legal? Can you be running for prosecutor? And yet you're talking about, if you elect me, I'm going to go after a guy y'all all hate. Not because of a crime, but because I hate him too. Y'all all hate him, and ain't nobody going to stop me right about now until though. Oh,
judgment, then we will seek, judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets.
Seize his assets, y'all. Seize his assets. Now that wasn't lawfare. That wasn't lawfare because it was Donald Trump, and he's evil, and he deserves all that, right? He deserves it all.
You want me to sit in my seat and stand idly by and allow this craziness to happen?
Now you hear Godzilla making all that noise? Hey, all she's been doing is tearing down New York, just like Godzilla. So here she is, trying to preach to somebody and talking reckless about, man, I ain't scared of Trump.
You can come after me if you want, but you elected me to stand up.
Oh.
You elected me to use the law.
No, the lawfare. You forgot that lawfare. You forgot that part. You elected me to use lawfare, because that's exactly what you used.
You elected me to go to court. You elected me to continue to challenge this administration.
And that burns me up. That burns me up. Look who's in the background. Al Sharpton stands up. Yeah, these Democrats, they get in front of a black audience, a black crowd of Democrats, and what do? They pretend they got a preacher's license. There they go. And God is going to protect me and you. And I'm going, you just can't talk. You just can't say what you want to say. Now you got to go into your preaching thing like that. You're thinking you're going to connect and get the black folks all emotional and riled up. Because that's all you're trying to do.
You elected me to stand up for the least of God's children. You elected me to continue
people
fighting
in the back.
on. And I will.
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump.
Because it's a brand new day. Ooh, I bet you when Trump won, all of the lawfarers were probably like, oh, shoot, what does this mean for us? We the dirty Dems. We thought this mess was, y'all promised us. If y'all go out there and probably go ahead and bring all these raggedy charges against Trump, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That'll be enough to change opinions. We'll dirty him up enough to where even folks that can see clearly will still see him dirty. And it didn't work. More they tacked on, more they piled on, more charges. We all were going, see, that's what I'm talking about. And so now the ties have changed.
In his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time. And we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights.
Do you hear that, Toots? Do you hear that, Bigfoot? So now, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I promise you that. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
That's a breaking news coming into the situation room right now. The U.S. Justice Department is opening an investigation into the New York Attorney General.
There's Godzilla. Oh, there's Big Kinkles cracking the concrete as she's coming out of that building. Yeah, trying to act confident, y'all, like she ain't scared. I ain't worried. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Now, it is funny that the tides have changed. You got to be concerned. Because, see, the difference is you're guilty. That's the difference. Yeah, that grand jury right here, that they're going to be able to produce a whole heap of stuff. They had to concoction a raggedy behind case to go after Trump. She's guilty.
General Letitia James's office. This comes as part of a criminal investigation into James, who previously prosecuted Trump. Let's go live right now to our correspondent, Bryn Gingras in New York.
Dirty
What are you learning, Bryn?
Yeah, well, so we're getting this information, our Karis Canal confirming that there are now 2 grand jury subpoenas issued by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of New York, looking to get information about James's office, basically trying to see if there was any criminality by her office when she filed that civil lawsuit against the Trump organization.
Yep. And I'm probably thinking, if you dig deep enough, you'll find the communications between her and Judge Algaran or that crazy weirdo that was posing with no shirt on. That judge was all like smiling and stuff. You'll probably see that they all like, yo, we're going to find this dude guilty. You understand that? This we got to do. You'll probably see communications with the White House. Yeah, you'll probably find that. And that also goes for Alvin Bragg. Also for Fat Fanny. And, of course, Jack in the Box. You'll probably find that they all was communicating with somebody at the DOJ, at the White House. That's what you'll probably find. But let's continue.
You remember that lawsuit going to trial and the Trump organization being found liable, having to owe now at this point, because of interest, about $500 million in penalty. So it appears that this...
Boy, it would be hilarious if she would have stumbled and fell down those steps, destroyed the whole steps. I would have laughed into the... you know what? I might have not even waited to see if she was okay to laugh. You know, sometimes you see somebody fall and you're like, oh, shoot, well, let me see it. Oh, they're getting up? Okay, it's safe to laugh. It's safe to laugh. But if she would have went down in the midst of trying to throw a heart, fall, big nose, go right between those hands. Oh, man, I would have had a field day on that one. But here she is. She's trying to act brave, y'all. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Here, there's love out there for you all.
This is a pursuit to figure out if there was any criminality in the investigation moving forward to that lawsuit. So we're still trying to work out all the details of this, but we also understand that is another subpoena in relation to James suing the NRA, if you remember, the National Rifle Association, which was also found liable after the lawsuit her office files. Now, we know that James is a big adversary of Trump, and we know that Trump has a history of going after people who have gone against him. He's...
No. Now, you notice he's going after people who's gone against him. You see how this chick just worded that? She should be saying Bigfoot went after Trump. Trump didn't pick a fight with this chick. He was minding his business while she was on the campaign trail talking about how she was going to stick it to him. But now Trump got a history of going after people who went after him. This woman campaigned on going after Trump, but yet she's making it seem like Trump's the one that retaliates for no reason. If he retaliates and they throw her big butt in jail, that is justice. That is not retaliation just for, I'm mad because somebody went after me. No, it is you abuse your power. You were vindictive. You were vicious, malicious. I mean, the way she talked about him, the way she said his name, everything she did let me know that this woman hated Trump and it was personal. And now here the CNN lady thing, he has a history of going after people.
Spoken out many times against James herself during the time of that trial.
And he shouldn't have. I guess he should have just let Godzilla just go ahead and scratch and bite and slander his name and make him be quiet and all of that. I bet he should have just did that, right? As he knew that these were bogus charges, and we all did too. But y'all wanted him to go through that mess, like with grace, humility, go ahead and abuse me, to violate my rights, take all my properties, take my money, make up lies about me, and I'll just sit here quietly and let it happen. That's the problem. He spoke up against this corrupt DA. But here that he was very upset when she was...
Even most recently. So this is something, of course, that we're going to continue to follow. But that is the latest news that we're getting right now, again, from our Karis Canal.
Good.
Power is kind of everything.
Man, there she is right here, y'all. Watch how she tries to go ahead and say that the fact that she falsified some information about some property. Yeah, that's nothing. It's nothing. I'm not worried about it. but she's gonna get it.
Thing. And all of that due process is kind of yada, yada, yada. But if you wanted to get a judgment about someone, you could. And what do you say to that in terms of what the facts actually bore out about the way that Donald Trump, particularly in his company, was conducting its business?
So his investigation, he exaggerated. Let me emphasize that. Exaggerated the value of his assets to the tune of millions and millions, and was able to secure favorable insurance and interest rates.
Oh my. I'm detecting some hypocrisy. Now wait a minute. Bigfoot, Godzilla, Kangles. You're telling me that that very sophisticated bank just fell for it? Yes, my property is worth, let me pick a number. $1 trillion. Oh, really? Okay, well, great. I'll write that down. Your proof for $17 trillion because your property's worth $1 trillion. You say, right. Now, you wouldn't be lying to us or exaggerating, would you, Trump? No. You mind if we take a look at that and do our own estimate? No. Yeah, I can't let you do that. Well, okay, fine. We'll trust you. That's what happened? Yeah, the poor old bank didn't do no follow-up. They just trusted Trump. Now, we all know that's a lie. The bank themselves said, we didn't have a problem with it. We all negotiated, came to something, and we would do business with him again. But now here she is, trying to still hold on to that lie, as she's guilty of the same thing.
As opposed to, and I'm sure Chris will probably get to this, they're claiming that I engaged in mortgage fraud.
What?
That I somehow decided that I was a resident of Virginia, which would be some commute every morning to the office of 28 Liberty.
Multiple times, though, see? Multiple signatures. It wasn't one time, oops, oh, I messed up on that one. Can I have another one? Can you rip that one up and print another one so I can sign it? Multiple times she lied. Then said her and her papa was husband and wife. Yeah, that's what she did. And she knows she's in trouble. And so she's coming out. This guy has given her a platform to try to come out and get ahead of this. And of course, blame Trump because he's evil and mean and stuff.
That somehow, I should be held to the same standard as Donald Trump.
But see, that's the problem. You think you shouldn't. Because you're a hypocrite and you're corrupt. Somehow I should be held to the same standard as Donald Trump. No, you should be held to the same standard as the law when it comes down to that type of fraud. But Donald Trump didn't do that type of fraud. See, that's the difference. And yet you're trying to tell us somehow your signature got on there and you're supposed to be the top DA. You're supposed to know all the ins and outs because you just went ahead and tried to sue Donald Trump as if you did know all the ins and outs when it comes down to property and the mortgages and business deals. You went after him like you knew all about how to negotiate and will and deal and stuff and had the right to say, yeah, I'm going to judge you for the wonderful deal that you came up with that bank. And now, all of a sudden, she's trying to pretend that there's nothing, it was a clerical error.
But somehow, what I did was basically similar to what Donald Trump engaged in. And there's just no comparison. The allegation...
Yeah, yours was worse. There's absolutely no comparison. Yours was way, way worse. Because Trump didn't do nothing.
...against me are totally baseless.
Baseless. Those signatures on those papers are baseless. Now, you see this? You see how the dirty Dems, the dirty, devilish Dems, this chick got the nerve, after having her signature on multiple pieces of paper, say those are baseless. And you say it with conviction, and then you back it up with a little bit of racism, accusations of racism. Here we go.
And again, it was based on a 2-year investigation of his assets. And
2-year witch hunt, falsification, a show, a production, and 2 years of coordinating with Democrats, probably the DOJ and the judge. 2 years of that to come up with that raggedy conviction.
And that judgment was issued by a Supreme Court justice, and there was an argument before the First Department Appellate Division, and we are awaiting a decision. I will respond to these baseless allegations at the appropriate time.
Yeah, but not now though, because I don't want to incriminate myself right now. Right now, this is just PR. Right now, I'm just coming out and just going, I'm going to just keep saying it. Spaceless, spaceless. I guess it's spaceless then. She keeps saying it.
In the appropriate way, but I am 100% confident that it will not result in any criminal indictment or action against me. And that it is nothing more than a revenge tour, and that Donald Trump just ultimately got to the J's, and I was
a great.
Y'all see that? Now that's a dirty dim for you. She's one of the dirtiest. I would love nothing more than to see them go ahead and track down that big fat Godzilla right there, throw a net on her, and drag her into somebody's cage. We'll love it.
Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Do your fist up and show some respect. There's gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here.